Microtransactions are everywhere nowadays. In fact, it's gotten to the point where it's a pleasant surprise to pick up a game that doesn't have microtransactions. This isn't an issue that is limited to any one gaming platform, although it has, at least up until now, been very much in your face on mobile gaming. But both PC and console gaming is rapidly catching up. Many people find extreme microtransactions to be unreasonable, and some gaming companies have been pushing things way too far. Yet, is there another side to all this? Do microtransactions genuinely have a place within the gaming industry with an aim to bring improvement, or are they actually poisoning gaming for everyone? I'm Obsidian and to kick this off, let's talk about Bethesda. And this is only fitting as they were one of the companies that started microtransactions off with their fabled horse armor. They are also in the news again, yes, for microtransactions in one of their latest releases, the new iPhone game Blades, set within the Elder Scrolls world. Now, whilst only a limited number of players currently have access to Blades, nonetheless plenty of information has made its way out onto the internet. So, what's the issue specifically with Blades? Well, the game is a dungeon crawler, and I guess also a town builder of sorts, as there is an element to that there. The dungeons are very reminiscent of any modern Elder Scrolls game. There's also a good deal of character progression there, but here's a problem. Blades is built from the grounds up with the concept of monetizing your gameplay. No surprise for a mobile game, of course, but well, this seems to be a bit of a new trend for Bethesda. Something that this game is confirming after following up with Fallout 76. Now, as to be expected within a dungeon crawler like Blades, loot is often found within chests. However, Bethesda have seen this as an opportunity to monetize. Chests then are on a timer, which, you guessed it, can be instantly opened with gems. To make matters worse, you can only carry a limited number of chests. So, whilst the chests you have found are running down their timer, if your chest inventory is full and you come across another chest, then you won't be able to pick it up. A big problem then for a game in the dungeon crawler genre, which are traditionally focused on collecting loot. The two solutions here within Blades are simple. One, you can pay to instantly unlock the chest, thereby freeing up an inventory slot, or two, you can pay to purchase additional chest slots. Whilst the game does offer free gems as you progress, the rate at which these are obtainable becomes increasingly problematic the further through the game you get. Now, some people compare these types of games as Skinner boxes. They essentially condition certain behaviour within the player, in this case to spend real-world money. It's proven to be extremely powerful and effective setup. In all honesty, this is the type of monetization that I personally abhor, and I believe it is being extremely damaging to gaming as a whole. Now, if this was just left to the mobile gaming arena, that would be one thing. There are fortunately still plenty of other options available. However, to an extent, it does seem that things are changing. Bethesda again hit the news with Fallout 76 monetization. It's a trend with Bethesda that leaves many people worried about the game's future games such as Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. To be fair here though, monetization within gaming is not a new thing, but it does feel as though it is becoming an increasingly problematic thing. Activision, for example, recently added a $30 hammer into Call of Duty Black Ops 2. To make matters worse, purchasing with real-world money is the only way to obtain the weapon. Last year, Star Wars Battlefront hit the news with insane loot box requirements and ridiculous amounts of required real-world money to obtain them in a reasonable time. EA, of course, ultimately dialed things down, but the point is, they tried it on. Like it or not, it seems microtransactions aren't going to go away. For the US console and PC gaming market during 2018, NPD Group figures show that $42.3 billion was spent within the US on software that includes in-game purchases and subscriptions. This compares to just $26.73 billion, which was spent on hardware, accessories, and regular software combined. In short then, there's far more money to be made with microtransactions than there is in anything else. It's not hard to see why game developers are moving in this direction. What makes this situation even worse is that when games have their gameplay monetized, it often means those games require less functional gameplay. For example, complex gameplay loops can be replaced with timers and inventory management. A complex gameplay loop takes time to develop. Meanwhile, a timer will add to the time spent on even the most simplest game loop. In short, this type of gameplay is very easy to develop and it can be highly monetized. Gameplay then, that is designed with monetization in mind, is a very bad trend. Fortunately, there are games out there that avoid doing this. Obsidian, for example, have confirmed that there will be no microtransactions in their upcoming game, The Outer Worlds. CD Projekt Red did an exceptional job with The Witcher 3, generating impressive sales numbers all without resorting to microtransactions. The developers have also suggested that there will not be any microtransactions in their next game, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, that's not to say that microtransactions are a bad thing in all games. Some games have managed to find a way to monetize without significantly damaging the gameplay. Warframe is a great example of this. Elite Dangerous, meanwhile, monetizes via cosmetics and simply doesn't sell any game-changing microtransactions. This money then can often be used to further develop the game or create a good stream of income for the developers. For example, in the financial year 2018, Frontier Developments generated around £4 million on the Elite Dangerous cosmetic store. Regardless of the type of monetization though, ideally any money generated from microtransactions should be pumped back into the game, and in a lot of cases it often is. This can mean that the games stay active for many years with regular ongoing development and updates. Again, Digital Extremes and Warframe come to mind here. However, it's not always the case, and with some companies, the money can be redirected to other locations. Personally then, I still prefer games that have no microtransactions at all. For me, the ideal game is a game that focuses on its world, characters, story and gameplay. The aforementioned Witcher 3 is a great example of this. Games like Octopath and Breath of the Wild on the Switch are also very good examples. Now, if a game has to have microtransactions, they could do a lot worse than following the Warframe model. Warframe, Rocket League and games with similar monetization models have proven that games can still be exceptionally fun while still generating a lot of cash. Yet the current outliers, such as the previously mentioned Blades and Fallout 76, are a worrying sign of the times. The attraction of billions of dollars of revenue must be very appealing to the developers and publishers alike. But ruining gaming is a very high price to pay for this. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.